There is hope for disc golf. It's not just the pandemic boom that has occurred which brought in so many players. It's not just the money that's being poured into the sport. It's the players. And by the players, I mean upcoming players. There's hope in the next generation of disc golfers, and the kid leading that charge is already a top dog. Gannon Buhr, age 17, already a winner on tour. Who is this kid? Where'd he come from? How is he beating all of these great players already? And what is this kid's ceiling? Let's find out. Here we go. Gannon Buhr popped onto the disc golf scene when, in 2017, he won the Junior World Championship by 30 shots. The next year, he would get beat, but then come back in 2019 to win another Junior Worlds title by 27 shots. Yeah, the kid was good, and he kept getting better. In 2019, he would actually play in some open events, but it wasn't until 2020 where he started playing in the open division full-time. But then, as we all know, COVID hit, and the 2020 season became a forgotten season. Didn't matter, Gannon got better and would be the youngest player ever to reach 1,000 rated. In 2021, we got to see what the kid had against the best in the world. Waco, 2021 was the first time I saw Gannon play.
And we have got the young gun, Gannon Buhr, 15 years old.
15-year-old Gannon Buhr playing the Waco Charity Open Round 2 on the lead card. 15 years old, like, what? Playing against players like Nico, Rathbun, and Williams. These guys have got so much experience and he's already sticking with them. Now Gannon plays really solid on the front 9 for his first time on coverage, but number 9 did get him, he ends up doubling. This slowed any momentum he had for the back 9, he played pretty much for pars. Didn't get to see Gannon play the final round, but he finishes the first tournament in 2021 in 11th place. Pretty solid. Well, he wasn't going anywhere for the rest of the season, he didn't finish higher than 51st in all the tournaments he played. I want to take a deeper look at the moments where Gannon showed just how good he really was. The Preserve Championship over yonder in Minnesota. This tournament was a banger, and it started off hot when Gannon hit the back 9 of the first round. His front 9 wasn't anything crazy, he shot 3 under, in the mix sitting within the top 25, but then his back 9 started. Birdie's hole 10 starts off with a sweet step putt. Hole 11, 525-foot par 3, Gannon basically parks it. I mean, what a freaking shot. Easy birdie on hole 12. 13 would get him with a bogey with a bad spit out, but it happens. Still, his momentum would go on, birdieing 3 of his next 4 holes. Then we get to hole 18. 942-foot par 5, Gannon throws a great drive and a great second shot to put himself in position for an eagle. He capitalizes on it. That would make for a 7 under on the back 9 with a spit out bogey. This was just in the first round. The next 2 rounds he would go 10 under and 11 under. Not enough to get the win, putting him 4 shots behind the winner Eagle McMahon. But he would finish in 4th, his highest elite finish to the date.
Wow.
If you understand anything, understand
10?
this.
Like I said earlier, Gannon's worst finish on the 2021 season was 51st. He was making money every tournament he played, which by the end of the season he was in 21st for the point standings heading into the tour finale. A grueling tournament, each day only the top 4 players of the day would advance to the next round. Players who were higher up in the standings would receive byes to the next round. So with Gannon being in 21st for the point standings, that would mean he would have to score in the top 4 each day for 4 days in a row to win the event. Competition would get tougher and tougher each day as the best players were added in later rounds. Round 1 was tough. After the front 9, Gannon was 5 back of the lead, but only 2 shots back from 4th place. He needed not only to play good on the back 9, he needed birdies, and that's what he got. Hole 11, he throws a perfect drive and a great upshot. That's 1 birdie for Gannon. Hole 13, a really long par 3, Gannon drains a step putt to grab another birdie. Now Gannon is tied for 4th with 5 holes to play. Nothing would happen on the final stretch that would take Gannon out of the top 4. He moves on to the next round. And Gannon would shoot 5 shots better than he did on the previous day's front 9. After 9 holes of the second round, Gannon was in the lead, beating players like Gibson and Dickerson. Gannon would have to keep the pedal down because if he didn't, he was going to drop out of the top 4 real quick. He ends up for the round shooting a total of 7 under. Ties for first with 3 other players, moves on to the semifinals. Now this is where things get dicey. Gannon shoots the same round on the front 9, 5 under. Again, he's playing super solid. He is tied for second with Drew Gibson. Now we get through the next few holes. Gannon makes a couple birdies. He is right there in the hunt. He's going to make a top 4 unless he blows up. So early in the tournament, he had been warned about slow play from a tournament official. Then, in the final round, he was again warned by his card about slow play, sometime on the back nine. He then bogeys holes 15 and 16. Does get a birdie on 17 for a good comeback, but it wasn't enough. He would miss out on the top 4 by 1 shot. I wasn't there. Maybe he was rattled, maybe not. Those bogeys just happened, but dang, he was so close to making it. Still a great showing from Gannon for the end of his first season on tour. On to 2022. Now, the 2022 season started off with an all-star event. Gannon's accolades not only earned him an all-star spot on the all-star team for the 2022 season, but he also was named Rookie of the Year for 2021. Pretty solid start for him, which he would carry on into this year's season. So he gets to the all-star event. Pretty sweet, we get to see some really good disc golf from the event. Then there is the real start to the season, the Las Vegas Challenge. Round 1 we don't see Gannon, but he does start out with a heater round. Gannon shoots 10 under par, placing him in second after day 1. A solid start. Gannon would only go up from there, shooting a 9 under round 2 to put him in the tie for the lead with Calvin Heimberg. Round 3 is where Gannon would start to take over, stretching his lead to 2 shots going into the final day. Then Drew Gibson happened. Without Drew Gibson shooting a great final round of 13 under, Gannon would have eased his way into a win. But Drew was always behind him, constantly keeping the pressure on him. So we get to 18, Gannon has a 1-shot lead over Drew. Both of them throw solid drives, Gannon's up first on his upshot. A really good throw, looks like it's going to be good, this is Gannon's tournament. But then it takes a hot skip, just past the basket and ends up OB. Gibson makes birdie, Gannon saves the par, we head to a sudden death playoff. Battle of the birdies would ensue, Gannon being constantly matched by Gibson. Hole 1, really good birdies by both competitors. Second playoff hole, Gannon makes a tester to capture the birdie. Gibson tosses his in for the tie. Third playoff hole, pretty stress-free, they both make good birdies. Then we get to the fourth playoff hole. Gannon is up first on his tee shot. It's a short par 4 with OB bunkers surrounding the green. Gannon chooses to go for it, hanging it out wide just a little bit. He gets caught up in a bunker, meaning his putt there is now for a birdie. Gibson chooses to lay up, then jump putts his way to a birdie. This forces Gannon to make the long birdie putt for the tie. Gannon putted so great this event, he played so hard it just wasn't enough. One missed putt down the stretch, Gibson takes the win, but don't worry, this is just the start to the 2022 season. Gannon had an incredible performance in Vegas, but he kept the momentum going from that to give him a lot of solid disc golf in the next stretch of the season. Waco, he finishes 25th. The Open at Belton, he finishes 24th. Texas States, he finishes 7th. The Open at Tallahassee, he finishes 4th. Then, playing the first major event of the year, Gannon finishes 5th at the Champions Cup. His next event, Jonesboro, he would finish 5th. He would then fight the crazy wins at Dynamic Disc Open to land himself a 10th place. This stretch of the season, Gannon has 2 top 25s, 2 top 10s, and 3 top 5 finishes. What an incredible stretch of disc golf. And then there was the Masters Cup. The Masters Cup in Santa Cruz, California is always a sweet event. Last year's tournament was a part of the National Tour. This year, since the Pro Tour has absorbed the National Tour, it has now been placed as a Silver Series event. This year's field had players like Paul McBeth, James Conrad, Matty O, and defending champ Adam Hammes. Oh, and the guy who beat Gannon in a playoff, Drew Gibson. Wouldn't matter. All these names, they mean nothing. Only the name at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the tournament matters. 3 rounds of disc golf at De La Vega Disc Golf Club. What a place. I mean, this tournament is pretty cool. Gannon liked it too. Gannon didn't want to make it too easy on himself, easing into 4th place after round 1 with a 6 under par. Then in round 2, he would come after the top guys with a showing of 8 under. Here he is, final round, lead card. This is his tournament. James Conrad on his heels, battling it out. Matty O on the chase card, playing really well too. The lead would change hands between him and Conrad, but then on the back 9, he would stretch his lead to 2 shots. Back and forth, 1 shot, then 2 shots, then 1 shot. Gannon keeping his composure. 18th tee, Gannon has a 2-shot lead over Conrad, who is in the group with him. Matty O is in the clubhouse at 23 under. That means if Gannon pars, he wins. As long as Conrad doesn't ace. Conrad has done some crazy things, you kind of got to hold your breath until he's out of it for sure. Conrad doesn't ace, but he does birdie, tying for second. Gannon throws his drive far wide of the OB. He then proceeds to lay up. This is his tournament. Gannon Buhr, just turned 17 years old, wins his first event on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. This is just the beginning. After seeing what this kid has done playing on the tour for just 2 years, I think there's a lot of hope for disc golf. He currently sits at 4th in the tour point standings. He's not in the running for the Player of the Year yet. Wysocki and Dickerson are above him by quite a bit, but he's still playing really good. I mean, if he wins an elite event or 2, then he's in the running. Imagine if this kid wins Worlds or USDGC, that would be crazy. We know he plays really good at the Tour Championship, so I'm expecting him already to be in contention for that tournament. But just think, this kid wins Rookie of the Year, and now this season so far he's probably going to win Most Improved. Another year or two, he could be the best player out there. Also, very importantly, he could be the next big contract we see. He currently throws for Prodigy, but if he keeps going at this trajectory, he's going to be able to call for some big money. Man, I hope he wins Worlds this year. That would be something else. Thanks for watching the video, guys. As always, I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, make sure to go check out some of my other stuff. You guys might really like them. Make sure to like and subscribe. The channel is growing so fast thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next time.